Hi, I'm Adam Sargent, and I'm here to show you some of the tracking devices I use in my AP Government and Three Democracies classes. So I tend to run with the play-by-play, where you write a student's name, you can write an arrow for a building comment, a T for a text reference, and a Q for a question. And what I do is I basically track the conversation from start to finish this way. And what it allows me to do is when I go back and assess their participation, I can give them really targeted feedback about how they participated in the discussion. So these are just different. This is from New York Times versus United States. It's a Supreme Court case. Federalist 51, one of the Federalist papers. McCulloch versus Maryland. USP Lopez. These are mostly AP Gov class discussions. Down here, if we look a little further along, there's some Three Democracies ones. This is the speech of the Athenian ambassador. Fantastic Harkness discussion on this one. Once again, you can see text references, questions, and student participation. Another way to track these conversations is with an oval. And one of my colleagues, she uses an oval. And this is an example of what an oval would look like. And once again, you're seeing a T for text references, Q for questions. And she'll write a little bit about the comment that they made. For me, this doesn't work as well, but I think it's visually really nice. You can tell when you have an oval like this how balanced the participation was, if students were ping-ponging back and forth. But you can see this one's pretty balanced. This is another example of this down here, where they're comparing Athens to a tragic hero. This was our sort of culminating Harkness discussion, our final Harkness discussion. And really some, other examples too here. This is a speech of the Athenian ambassador again, Melian dialogue. But I really like, I find tracking is hugely important, because when I'm going back at the end of the conversation the night after, I immediately sit down and I can write students really specific feedback, and I can refer back to the comments they made, the questions they made. So to me, it's really critical in being able to give them an authentic assessment.
Could you just take one conversation, Adam, and show us how you might use that to respond to students pointing out comments that they have made?
Yeah, so if I were looking at this discussion, I might, for example, note that this student, Maisie, may ask a question to open the conversation, so I might give that as positive feedback. She's talking about the tone, that's interesting. And then what I would do is I'd scan through and look at other things that Maisie did. Here, Maisie made a text reference, and I've got the piece of it so I know what the text reference is. I might even list that in my feedback to her about another positive of making text references. And then this carries over. It looks like she has a little gap where she's not talking in the conversation. There's some on the back of this. I know that there's some more written on the back of this that I can't see. My guess is that she re-entered the conversation at some point at the end, because it went on for 40 minutes. But I might comment that there's a little bit of a gap where she wasn't participating, maybe to try to be more consistent and participate throughout the discussion. Students also do a self-assessment, so maybe she even picked up on that, but that would be a comment that I might make to her so she could work on that moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your whole wall is covered with Harkness ovals and comments.
Yeah, I sort of done this because I know like Ryan and Kate do it, and I like it. It sort of just shows the kids what it's their work. I like it, and they can refer back to it. And then I save them at the end, and then when I have the conversations next year, I'll refer to these just to see what questions that students brought up in the discussions, where it went. So.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.